The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the guidance of your healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your mental or physical health. The views expressed are those of the host and guests and do not replace personalized care from a licensed professional.
Welcome to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante, a space where a nurse practitioner and educator shares real talk on mental wellness, mindfulness, and navigating life in and out of healthcare. Let's take a moment to breathe, reflect, and grow together.
Welcome to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante, where we explore conversations that inspire growth, resilience, leadership, and well-being. Today is a very special episode for me because personally, we are joined by a distinguished educator and leader from my alma mater, the University of Luzon in Dagupan City, Philippines. Our guest is Dr. Jordan Llego, RN, MSN, PhD, LPT, Dean, and full-time professor of the College of Nursing and Midwifery for the University of Luzon in Dagupan City. Dr. Llego is an accomplished researcher, editor, peer reviewer, and academic leader whose work has focused on nursing education, emotional intelligence, student well-being, academic resilience, bullying in nursing education, patient safety, and moral distress. Through his scholarship and leadership, he has helped shape the future of nursing education in the Philippines and contributed to the global nursing community. As a proud alumnus of the University of Luzon, it is truly an honor to welcome one of its outstanding leaders to the show. Dr. Llego, welcome to the Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante. Such an honor to have you here. Salamat po for your time and effort for today.
I am more thankful, Dr. Peter. I will pronounce your name, but you're saying Peter, so I will address you, Dr. Peter. Dr. Peter.
Yes,
It's
University of
and
Luzon is very close to my heart, and you are very close to
yeah,
my heart because we have a lot of common friends. We have Dr. Banyas, Dr. Jester Lloyd,
yeah,
and now Madam Bustillo and Madam Ellen and everybody in
Mama
the
Ellen,
University
yeah.
of Luzon faculty are very our treatment is like family po. So thank you so much for your time. We're gonna talk about your journey into nursing education. And my first question for you is that was there a specific mentor or patient or life experience that confirmed you were on the right path? And looking back right now, what would you tell your younger self when you were just starting nursing school?
Regarding my mentor, I believe a lot of people had influenced me. But the person I really admired the most was my dean before, is Dr. Ida. Now she's Dr. Dumantay. She is actually one of the people I really admire, and she is a good leader. Besides her, Dr. Richard Dairit, my boss at the University of Haile in Saudi Arabia, and a close friend of mine also, the Dean of the Sciences of the Universidad de Dagupan, Dean May Jacqueline Arago. And of course, Sir Chris Banyes, who truly inspired me when we worked together. He's the person who really, he's the person who really exceeds my limits. He really pushed me to my limits. And of course, another person is Mr. Alain Generale. Well, for my old self, I think what can I say is you did a good job. You're still doing a great job, and just go on, continue your passion, and keep dreaming. Because during my childhood, I really don't know or even what is nursing, and uh, because of the love for the profession, I even finished up to the PhD in nursing. So yeah, continue dreaming big because only God knows what your limitations are.
Thank you for that response. Did you always see yourself becoming an academic leader, or did that happen unexpectedly?
I am actually leaving Saudi Arabia, so I think the universe conspired for me to be here. So now I'm doing everything. I mean, I get to do develop the students. I also develop the faculty. We do community extension. We do quality assurance, and of course, my love, my first love, my second love, doing research and changing the nursing education landscape here at the University of Luzon.
Yes, I think you're setting the bar up for the University of Luzon. So thank you for what you're doing right now. And for that specific role, are there any challenges and leadership growth that you have experienced right now, or was there a particular setback that became one of your greatest lessons?
Well, challenges, there's a lot, of course. Mainly, of course, the things that I cannot control, the laboratory. But since I consider it a challenge, we are finding ways to cope up with the lapses in our laboratory. Because, bringing realism to the laboratory is a big challenge to educators, and we are trying our best to cope with those changes and those challenges. And another thing, of course, dealing with students, I also have sometimes we have problems with that. But open communication is very important. That's why I always say that the office is very open. The office of the dean is always open. Students know my email address. The students know my social media accounts, so they could
Mm.
message me anytime they want. I am just telling them that I will just reply if I have time.
Thank you for that. How do you personally handle criticism or failure when leading a large academic institution like University of Luzon? Mm.
Criticism for me is actually a mirror. In a sense that if people are somewhat correct in what they are saying or their observation, then we try to improve. But if I think or I believe that the opinions are not irrelevant, just personal attacks, because sometimes criticisms is just personal attacks. So I just brush them off. Whatever I am doing is that my kwan kasi ako, my principle is I have receipt, or in Tagalog or Filipino, meron akong resibo. So what I'm trying to say is we are working very hard and we have evidence. So let the work of the college speak for itself.
Thank you. And were there moments when you doubted yourself?
For a lot of times actually, Doc Peter.
Uh,
Not only once or not only twice, but there are a lot of times that I am having self doubt. But self doubt actually will kill motivation.
mm.
You just have to overcome it. And one of my what do you call this way to combat self doubt is actually looking back the things that I have done, and of course, prayers. Prayer is one of my biggest weapon, and I'm always saying to God that I'm doing this all because of you. So bless me in whatever I do.
Thank you. And I think a lot of nursing leaders can also resonate with that feeling that sometimes we tend to have imposter syndrome. But what stands out to me is that leadership isn't built during comfortable seasons. It's often forged during difficult moments when we have to make tough decisions and keep moving forward.
Yes,
Now,
correct.
on you, staying grounded despite the multiple roles that you have, I can see all your achievements in the social media. What does a typical day look like for you right now?
Well, right now, if you are going to look at I think it's a bit boring to be to be honest. But I start the day by, of course, reading research. I have a lot of review actually. I'm trying to read manuscripts because I'm starting my work at 6:30 a.m. So I come to the office before 6:30 a.m. Yeah, because I dedicate my 6:30 to 8 o'clock that is dedicated for research. So I'm reading a lot of manuscripts, maybe one or two. And if I have editorial tasks also, I'm also doing that during that time. And after that, if I have class, then I will go to my class from 8 to 5. Or if I have managerial tasks or admin stuff, so I'm doing it during the 8 to 5. If I have free time after lunch, so for example, we are done eating at 12:30 p.m., I will read again, research for me to make decisions, and after that, proceed with the admin task here at the university. And at 4 or 5, I'm going home, and I have a little time to relax, about until 6 p.m., and I will cook. I still cook. That's my that's one of my hobby, of course. And after that, read again or browse the social media, to be updated of what is happening with the generation, and of course with the current events happening in the Philippines. And after that, I will read again while laying. And the next morning, that's that again, whatever I read, or manuscript that I have read, I will write again in the morning so that I could make a decision for my peer review or for an editorial task. And if I
Okay.
have something in mind, I mean, if I have a research perspective in mind, I'm also conceptualizing that during the morning, and I will throw it to my faculty members for us to create a new research.
How do you prevent burnout while balancing so many responsibilities?
Well, for burnout, um, I do not consider myself experiencing it actually, because of maybe of the flexibility of my time. But before, when I am in Saudi Arabia, the first thing to do, of course, is to reconnect with family members or to reconnect with friends, because strong social support is very important. That is also evidence-based. I think Dr. Peter here is the person who will really stick out on that. So you need a strong social support. And of course, you do what you do. Well, anyway, I love research. I love what I'm doing. So I don't think burnout uh, is just part of it. I mean, I rarely face it right now.
Great. And what practices help you maintain your own personal mental well being?
Well, for my personal mental well-being, I consider myself as a person who is a goal digger. What do I mean by that? I will only have problems mentally if I will not achieve my goal. So, of course, I will feel depressed. This past few weeks actually is a bit depressing because a lot of our manuscripts are being rejected. But, you know, rejection is also part of the job. I mean, you just have to find another journal for your manuscript to be suited. And ang tanong to Peter ay personal practices, of course,
Uh-huh.
doing what you love, have a hobby. It's very important. For me, I'm watching YouTube channels. Aviation, actually, I love aviation. I do watch flight reviews, airline reviews, and of course, I also go out of the country. If I have here in the university, we have breaks. You could file for a mental health break. So that's what I love also at the university, because we could file such leaves. So I think I availed it already for 2 times. So I went to Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam and once in Taiwan. So that's it. Traveling is also a thing of mine. Sometimes I also do local travels, and of course food. But I now have diabetes, so I'm trying to control whatever I'm eating right now. So, and of course, going out with the faculty members also is a good practice. We do eat Korean foods. Uh, we do coffee sometimes. But again, we are talking about junk. So it's an extension of what we are doing or what we love at the university.
Thank you. Many professionals struggle with balance. It's inspiring to hear how someone like you leading at such high level remains intentional about purpose and well-being. Now let's talk about your leadership in nursing education. What are some simple ways nursing students can start developing leadership skills today?
Leadership actually don't start with um, positions. Students could actually be what do you call this? Be a leader. They must be teachable. Okay, so meaning to say they have to, or they do not pretend to know everything. They must listen. They must ask questions, and they learn from corrections. Another is they join clubs like the Nightingale Society that we have here. And of course, being responsible, being on time is actually a good start of showing leadership. And of course, standing for your advocacy. Another is it's not being blind following, but if you know that the policies are for your benefit, then you must follow. They are saying that to become a good leader, you must be a good follower also. So here we are also building leadership, not only for our student council, but also for it's open for all the students. We have one who's now in Poland. We also send students in Indonesia. So it's not only building community linkages, but also leadership among our students.
Those are great initiatives of your leadership. But can leadership be taught, or do you believe some people are naturally born leaders like you?
Well, there are a lot of theories in leadership. I think we were taught that during our bachelor's degree and even our master's. So yeah, there are really people who possesses the characteristics of a leader. But leadership could also be learned. I myself, I do not consider myself as a great person or the great man theory, a typical great man theory persona. But with education and mentorship is actually very important when it comes to leadership. So that's why I owe my leadership to the people I work with, the leaders I had worked with. Because there's no perfect leader.
Mhm.
We just have to pick what are the good things from that leader, and we create our own style of leadership. So, lucky for me, I have worked with a lot of great leaders that I consider great leaders. So, it's a mixture of whatever I got from them and what I'm doing now. It's all because of the teachings they have given, not only from the book, but from the experiences that they have shared with me.
Great. And how can educators create environments that nurture leadership?
Well, for us, of course, we need to provide opportunities. As an administrator, we need to provide opportunities for our students to experience or to harness leadership. Like for example, opening programs, opening clubs. Also, we have three clubs actually, or four clubs in the in the college, and we are also letting our students decide on their own. I mean, in the classroom, we have policies that they choose whoever wants to lead, and besides that, they are assigned tasks that are for them. Those are the things that we are doing in the university or in the college for us to harness leadership. Another is, of course, giving them seminars, trainings. We have a lots of initiatives from the programs that we have. Um, it is already aligned for the whole academic year. Also, the university provides support by also giving trainings and seminars for leadership.
I love that perspective because leadership isn't about titles, right? Leadership begins with our responsibility, integrity, and influence. The quality students can develop long before graduation. Now, we will go to characteristics of exceptional nurses. Among all the qualities you've observed, which one predicts long term success the most?
For me, the first one is being teachable. Like what I mentioned, um, students must learn how to listen, must learn how to ask questions, and learn from corrections. Second is emotional maturity. Students must know how to manage pressure, communicate respectfully, and remain calm even in difficult situations. Third is discipline. Nursing, of course, requires consistency. Intelligence is helpful, but discipline is the one that sustains excellence. Fourth is showing compassion with boundaries. They must care deeply, but they also understand professionalism. And for me, the fifth one, the last one, is purpose. Students with purpose do not easily give up because they understand that nursing is not merely a course or a job. It is a calling that demands both heart and competence.
Great. Thank you for that wonderful response. Technical knowledge can be taught, and I think in University of Luzon we're being taught about Perseus Evalius during our time, which is skills and values, but also qualities like resilience, humility, and compassion often determine how far someone will ultimately go. Now, I want to dive deeper to lessons from nursing education, U.S. nursing education. What innovations in the U.S. nursing education impressed you the most? And what strengths do Philippine nursing programs already possess that we should continue protecting?
Well, anyway, our education system is actually patterned from the US.
Mhm.
So the Philippine nursing system actually still has a lot to learn from the US education system, especially in terms of simulation based learning, interprofessional collaboration, clinical reasoning, and evidence based practice. In many advanced nursing education systems, students are trained not only to memorize information, but to make safe clinical decisions. They are exposed to simulation laboratories, case based learning, quality improvement, patient safety frameworks, and collaborative health models. These are the areas that we can continue to strengthen in the Philippine context. Right now, actually, Doc Peter, um, we only had just last month we had a training regarding quality improvement. That is my goal this year, that we will have outputs of quality improvement with our partner hospitals. We already sent partnership proposals to the Region 1 Medical Center, to the Nazareth General Hospital, and the CFORM PC in Rosales. So hopefully they will allow us to help improve the quality of nursing in their hospitals. However, I also believe that the Philippines has something valuable to offer. The Filipino nurses' compassion, adaptability, like what you mentioned, resilience, and strong sense of service. The ideal direction is not to simply copy another system, but to learn from the best practices and integrate them with our own strengths. The goal should be globally competent Filipino nurses who remain culturally grounded, ethically strong, and professionally excellent.
Thank you for that wonderful response. It's very fascinating because the goal is simply not to copy another system, but to identify the best practices while preserving the strengths that already exist within Filipino nursing education. Now, this is something that is personal, choosing to stay in the Philippines for you. When you see your graduates succeeding worldwide, what does that mean to you personally?
I already mentioned to you, Dr. Peter, I will also be leaving the Philippines very soon. But uh, why did I left my job abroad? It's actually for me to share the things that I have learned from the place I work in Saudi Arabia, to share it here in the Philippines, because we are really lagging uh, from the education, not only at the basic education, but also in nursing education. Even if we always say this, that Filipino nurses are the best nurse, that's very true. But there are few Filipino nurses that creates fury, those that are really prominent when it comes to the nursing science. So I really hope that we have a lot of, or more nursing leaders that will be known because of the contribution to the nursing science. Only few like Dr. Luxin, Dr. Palaganas, of course. But other than them, I cannot name anymore. They are only locally known, but they're nationally known. They're very few. So that's the pain that I'm actually what do you call this, carrying, because we are. It's very true that we are the best nurses, but we are trained to be staff nurses, not nursing leaders. So I want to change that face. That's why I want to be here, be the dean, for me to do something about changing the face of uh, that that face of nursing in the Philippines. And hopefully, I could develop students that are going to be future nursing theorists and nursing scientists.
Yes, and I think you're stepping up the game or leveling it up because I can see University of Luzon being seen everywhere, and which is a global efforts that you guys are doing. So congratulations for that. Now, your
Thank you.
advice for nurses torn between local and global opportunities. How should young nurses define success for themselves?
Well, for me, success is subjective. The nature of human person is we are not uh, easily contented. So let someone say that you are successful. It's better rather than defining what is success by your standard or by your definition. Because only people will gauge or say that you are successful with what you are doing. But of course, being successful is also being happy, or being happy of what you are doing, being contented of what you have achieved, and of course accomplishing your objectives. Like what I mentioned a while ago, purpose is very important. So you go back to your main purpose why you are doing something. Or for example, you took up nursing because you want to be millionaire in the near future. So if you target that $1 million or peso, whatever currency it is, then at least you achieve your purpose. Basically, you became successful in achieving that purpose. But of course, as we go on with our career, we go beyond with that initial purpose. So, what will be your next purpose after getting or achieving that target?
And that message that you gave us is very powerful because success for me is not one size fits all. I agree with you. There should be like finding a path that aligns with our values, purpose, and a definition of fulfillment. And do whatever makes you happy because it will avoid burnout in the long run.
Correct, correct, though.
Now, Dr. Jordan, I want to dive deeper to your emotional intelligence and nursing, which is also a specialty that you're looking at. Can emotional intelligence be developed or is it largely innate?
We created actually a meta-analysis and systematic review just last month with Mom Marty and Mom Christine. We actually found out that there is a linear correlation, or basically it's positive correlation, but emotional intelligence itself is, what do you call this, it's not really, or doesn't have really effect with the current behavior. So yeah, I still believe that emotional intelligence could be learned. That's why we have a lot of trainings, and we even inculcated or embedded emotional intelligence with our psychiatric nursing. So with the research before, together with Mom Ellen and Mom Jen, that was 2017 or 18, I think. So with that finding, we embedded a course for emotional intelligence, or a topic for emotional intelligence in the psychiatric nursing. Well, um, what I am trying to speak also with our faculty members as well, and also our students, is that nursing knowledge is essential, but knowledge without emotional regulation can become harmful. Nurses work in high pressure environments. They deal with suffering, conflict, anxiety, grief, and ethical dilemmas. Emotional intelligence helps nurses manage stress, communicate effectively, show empathy, resolve conflict, and make sound decisions under pressure. A clinically competent nurse may know what to do. An emotionally intelligent nurse understands how to do it in a way that protects dignity, builds trust, and promotes healing. So that is why I believe emotional intelligence is not optional in nursing. It is part of professional competence.
I agree with you. Like healthcare is all about human connections too, right?
Yes,
So you may be the best nurse, but if you are lacking or you're good at technical skills, but if you don't have that emotional intelligence, then probably it's hard for patients to connect with you. They if they don't feel that they're seen, heard, or valued, then the outcomes may be problematic or not the best outcomes for our patients. So it's really important to focus on that
yes.
emotional intelligence.
And adding to it, Doctor,
Uh,
with the latest research that we are doing, we found out that there's no experimental study yet. That's why we cannot really prove the direct effect of emotional intelligence with the caring behavior of our nurses. So hopefully, if the paper will be published, um, a nurse scientist or even us could create a training program to really enhance emotional intelligence and really see what is the effect of emotional intelligence to the caring behavior of nurses. So that will be another story, but for now, with the existing literature, it doesn't have yet an experimental research regarding the effect of emotional intelligence. And hopefully, we could create a program to check if really emotional intelligence could have effect to the caring behavior of nurses.
Now, let's talk about mental health challenges among nursing students. What warning signs should students watch out for themselves?
Well, for now, with the demand of nursing here in the Philippines, I think the first signs that I am seeing with our student is that they become disorganized. They sometimes even lose their appetite to learn. So those are the things that I am seeing with our students. But of course, we in place a program also for that. We will be launching it. We will call it Tina Talks. That will be handled by one of our faculty member that may handle um, emotional problems or even financial. Sometimes we just need someone to talk to, someone to listen to, not to judge us. So that is the what do you call this, the premise of the program. So it will be handled by Ma'am Tina, and we will be starting it this semester. So
Wow.
Ma'am Tina will have a specific time for a consultation, and students could book an appointment with her for them to talk to Ma'am Tina. That's why it's called Tina Talks.
It's great. That's a great resource. I hope we had that resource when we were students too, because I think a lot of students can benefit from that. You are really thinking outside the box, Dr. Jordan. Are these all your vision to make the School of Nursing prosper and creating that impact to the nursing students are really great. Now, let's talk about one change in Philippine nursing education. You've been a dean, you've been a faculty. What barriers is currently preventing that change from happening in the Philippines?
If I could improve one thing, I would strengthen the integration of evidence-based education, clinical simulation, mental health support, and leadership development in nursing programs. So, of course, with the premise that we need to prepare students not only to pass board examinations but to function effectively in complex healthcare environments. Nursing education should develop clinical judgment, ethical reasoning, communication skills, emotional intelligence, cultural competence, research appreciation, and leadership capacity. Well, I think what inhibits this is the lack of trained faculty members. Evidence-based education is also like a burden to the faculty members. Um, they don't even know how to teach it. when I conducted a training in May, I think April or May, here at the university, the Faculty of Nursing, they feel like it's added job. But actually, what my encouragement is, it's part of our job. We should not complain because that is part of our job. And of course, with that initiative, I mean, if we do evidence based education also, we are also trying to or helping our students to think critically and apply evidence also to the care of our patients. It is not it's not an option or it's not optional. It is a must because we are trying to make nursing graduates that are really ready to become nurse scientists. But the faculty members, not only here, I think even even different nursing schools have problem also with implementation of evidence-based education. Maybe I think UP is good, UERM is good, the big schools in the Manila are good, but there are still a lot of nursing schools that really having hard time when it comes to implementing evidence-based education. So I I hope that when I leave the University of Luzon, well, they could continue what I have implemented and the initiatives of the program because it's for the betterment of the program and for our students.
Right. And I think University of Luzon is preparing for global opportunities. And then a lot of UL or Luzonians have already migrated to different parts of the country to like the US. We have a strong alumni here
Yeah,
and
connected.
everybody's working everywhere. So thank you to your initiative and thank you for all the faculty that supports that mission. Now, is there any final message for the students and young nurses that are listening to this podcast that you want to tell them right now?
Well, to close, my message is very simple. Do not be afraid of pressure. Do not let pressure define you. Pressure can refine you if you face it with purpose, discipline, and faith in the process. There will be difficult days. There will be failures, delays, and moments when you question yourself. But those moments do not mean you are not meant for nursing. Sometimes they are part of your formation. Dream big, but build slowly and honestly. Develop your competence, protect your character, respect your mentors, serve your patients with compassion, and never forget why you started. The world does not need nurses or only nurses who are intelligent. It needs nurses who are humane, resilient, ethical, and courageous. Your dream is valid, but it must be matched with preparation. Keep going. The profession needs you.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. That really coming from the heart and resonated to me too. And it's exciting how you are inspiring a lot of us with all your work. You're doing so much, but also remember to take care of yourself too. Okay. Now, for uh, for the final message, what gives you hope for the future of nursing? And when you meet students today, what inspires you the most about this generation?
My inspiration really comes from my love for the profession. Doc Peter, many people will say that, you know, being an editor or being a reviewer is just the job, you are not earning anything from it. But it's really my love for nursing that is keeps me doing it. Yeah, it's true. I do not earn any money from reviewing manuscripts or what do you call this, or even um, doing an editorial job. But it's really for the love of the profession. While for the new generation now, you know, the problem with the new generation right now actually is that they are very reliant when it comes to the technology. And we are trying uh, to to merge that with the discipline or the human touch of nursing. So we are not actually discouraging technology to our students. What we are trying to do is to harmonize it with the human touch, or the human uh, the human touch. So that is actually my inspiration right now. How can I uh, integrate or merge those two? With the help of the faculty members, I think in few months or a few years time, we will have a better program for the BSN. We have a lot of research right now when it comes to AI. I cannot divulge it yet, but our students are actually doing it. But in the near future, if one of our papers will be published, because it's under review right now, it will be a policy for the university. It will be used as a policy, as a basis for policy for the use of artificial intelligence. So there's a lot of things actually that's running into my mind right now. How can I improve the BSN program? How can I help the students? Because Doc Peter, our students are mixed. Not all are intelligent. So that's also an inspiration. How can we change the lives of these students? Not only them, but their family as well. So that's a cry. That's what I'm also sending, or the message I'm sending to my faculty members, that we are actually the people who could help change their lives, not just the lives of the students, but also their family.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. That's really inspiring and really touches my heart when you tell me that you want to change their life. And I think you have done that over the course of your leadership.
Thank you, Dr.
What legacy do you hope to leave behind as an educator and a leader?
For me, I think I could say I could die right now. I mean, I already left something for the profession. If you will search my name in Google, you will see a lot of the things that I have worked. So because of research again, of course, but the legacy that I want to leave also is the change of lives of the people around me. How did I help them in some way, or what did I do to change, or to change their lives, or the opportunities that I have given them to change their perspective, also their lives and their outlook when it comes to nursing. Because Dr. Peter, even the faculty members, sometimes they are saying that nursing is mainly for money. I mean, if you go to abroad or go to the USA, you will become rich. But that's also my perspective when I was a student. But it has changed as I go on with my professional career. And once I also entered nursing research, that there are still a lot of things to be discovered, and nursing is really a good tool to change the lives of our patients and the community.
I agree with you. And as I listen to your journey, I'm reminded that nursing is not simply about acquiring knowledge or passing examinations. It's about becoming the kind of person who can lead, heal, serve, and continue growing through every stage of life. Before your closing remarks, I would like to consider asking these questions, Dr. Ligo. Years from now, when your students and colleagues look back on your career and leadership, what do you hope they will remember about you? Not about what you have accomplished, but about the difference you've made in people's lives.
Well, Doc, to be honest, um, when I see my students, actually, I've seen a lot of them in abroad in Saudi Arabia, precisely. So they will say that when I was their professor, I am the person who was always grumpy. But there's a but there. They're always saying that I was right, that the world is harsh, and sometimes the training that we are giving is harsh, but reality is harsher, or it's worse. So my students right now, actually, sees me as someone they are, how to call this, not the word idolizing, because I don't also like to use that word idol. There are some, I am a person they are looking up to, and they are saying that I am hard to please. That's their connotation. But I always say my students that no one started as an expert. What's important is you learn from whatever mistakes that you have committed, and of course, do not kill your patients. That's the number one rule. It's okay to commit mistakes in the laboratory or even in your outputs, in research. But what's important is you learn from those mistakes, and that will make you a better professional in the future. And that's what I want to be remembered, that it's okay to commit mistakes. What's important is you learn from those mistakes.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan, for this mindful moments with you. These are conversations that resonates to our heart, and thank you for your initiative. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for inspiring us. And I know that a lot of students, you have touched their lives in any way, and it's a pathway for their success. Thank you po, Doc, for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante. Be sure to follow the podcast so you'll never miss an episode. If you find value in our time together, leave a quick review. It helps more people discover the space we're creating. For updates and more reflections, follow us on social media. Until next time, take care.